Alright, imagine this. Albert Einstein, the man who reshaped our understanding of space, time, and energy, suddenly wakes up in the 21st century. Not in a dusty lab surrounded by chalkboards filled with equations, but in the middle of an Instagram live stream. And wait for it, he's holding a phone. A smartphone. It's shiny, glowing, and has more buttons than his trusty calculator. Einstein, once the intellectual giant who made the theory of relativity a household name, now has to explain social media to a world that's constantly buzzing with notifications, viral challenges, and influencers. At first, you can imagine him squinting at the screen, tapping it like it's a physics equation that doesn't quite add up. He starts swiping, wondering why there are so many pictures of food. What is this? He mutters, clearly perplexed by the endless selfies. Is this an expression of creativity, or an attempt to study human nature through photographic representation? Yeah, buddy, that's a #Footstagram. Welcome to 2025. But let's back up. Einstein was no stranger to communication. He knew how to make complex ideas accessible. So, with the patience of a true genius, he might start with the basics. Alright, so this thing is called a phone. It connects you to people around the world. But it's also a portal to another world. A world where ideas, photos, thoughts, and memes, yes, memes, travel faster than the speed of light. He'd probably take a deep breath. Yes, memes. They're like small viral ideas that spread rapidly, often humorously, without the need for deep analysis. Okay, so there are these apps. He would continue tapping on the screen. Each one is a different reality. Facebook is a place to keep up with acquaintances and strangers. It's a bit like a perpetual high school reunion, except you don't even have to leave your house. Twitter. Twitter is a place where everyone shares their thoughts in short bursts, 140 characters. It's like a constant philosophical debate, but without the moderation of reason. And oh, TikTok. TikTok is where you make 15-second videos of dancing or lip-syncing, usually with music. It's, a very fast way to lose time, apparently. Einstein, ever the intellectual, would probably have some trouble wrapping his head around how social media is now the backbone of public interaction. It's not about deep philosophical discussion or scientific discovery anymore. It's about getting likes and retweets. People become celebrities for their ability to dance, or worse yet, to say something controversial in a tweet that gets millions of likes. For a man who saw the world as a place to be understood through equations and principles, trying to grasp that the number of followers you have can influence your life's trajectory would likely leave him scratching his head. But Einstein wasn't just about formulas and the rigidity of facts. He had a sense of humor. He might chuckle at the chaos of it all, making an offhand comment like, "So you tell the world what you had for breakfast, and they respond with fire emoji and lit? This is some sort of modern alchemy, isn't it? You exchange words for approval. How very efficient." Maybe he'd give a laugh and say, "I suppose if my theory of relativity had gained a few hashtags, it might have traveled faster than it did in my time." But the real fun begins when Einstein tries to break down the sheer vastness of social media. "You see," he'd say with a twinkle in his eye, "this is where it gets really interesting. We have billions of people all interacting with each other simultaneously. Imagine, if you will, a cosmic web of connections all happening in real time, much like my ideas of the interconnected fabric of space-time. Except instead of gravitational forces, we have memes pulling us all into, what do you call it? A timeline." He'd pause for effect, then smile knowingly. Much like the space-time continuum, it's constantly shifting. But instead of black holes, there are trends. Of course, Einstein might have a few concerns. "You see this?" He gestures toward the phone. "Has infinite potential for both good and bad. The spread of ideas is now democratized, which is a beautiful thing. But equally, misinformation can spread just as quickly, like a rogue particle in a particle accelerator." You can almost hear him raising an eyebrow. It's as if we've discovered the theory of everything, only to find out that everyone is using it to post pictures of their lunches. When it comes to influencers, though, Einstein might get a little philosophical. He'd muse, "I am not sure if the human race has found enlightenment or merely a very strange form of self-promotion." Imagine him looking at someone with 100K followers for posting daily affirmations or demonstrating how to put on makeup. Influencing is not a science. It is a performance, yes? You see, I spent much of my life proving that the universe runs on a set of physical laws, but today it seems the universe runs on likes. He'd probably give a thoughtful look. But maybe that's just another layer of the great equation of existence, eh? Now let's talk about what would absolutely blow his mind, the speed of it all. Einstein, who spent years developing theories to understand how the universe operates at its most fundamental level, would likely have a hard time processing the concept of 24/7, in-the-moment communication. His theory of relativity was all about how time and space are fluid, and how events in one place can affect events in another. Social media, in a sense, operates on this principle too, only instead of gravitational waves or cosmic forces, we're talking about memes, hashtags, and viral trends bouncing from one part of the globe to another in an instant. It's like a massive human-sized version of his very own space-time continuum, except it's much less orderly and involves a lot of dancing cats. But even with his genius, Einstein might find it impossible to fully comprehend just how deeply social media has intertwined with human culture. It's no longer just about connecting people. It's about shaping identities, influencing politics, spreading ideologies, and even changing the way we experience the world. Perhaps, Einstein might say, this is not just a tool for human connection but a new frontier for human consciousness. It is the mirror of society, but I fear it is a distorted reflection. And yet I can see him in the end being fascinated, not just by the chaos of it all but by its potential. The internet is both an intellectual revolution and a social experiment, he might muse. A place where ideas can flourish, or be reduced to memes. You can almost hear him shrugging, because no matter how wild or weird the future gets, Einstein always had the capacity to look at the world's mysteries and say, this is fascinating, let's keep exploring. So, if Albert Einstein woke up in the 21st century with a phone and had to explain social media to the world, he'd probably do it with a mix of bewilderment, humor, and awe. And just maybe, he'd be the first person to hashtag his own theories. Hashtag relativity in the age of memes, anyone?